Billionaire CEO lifted his cup for a sip, when a homeless girl suddenly screamed, "Don't drink it." What he discovered inside that mug didn't just save his life. It ended his marriage forever. There was a man named Daniel Reed, one of the wealthiest CEOs on the entire West Coast. He lived in a sprawling glass mansion on the cliffs outside Malibu, California, overlooking the endless blue of the Pacific Ocean. Daniel owned tech companies, patents, resorts, and half of an energy firm. Newspapers called him America's next trillionaire. Whenever he attended a charity gala or business conference, cameras followed him the way waves follow the shore. His life looked perfect, too perfect. But perfection has a way of hiding the darkest secrets. His wife, Vanessa Reed, was one of the most photographed women in Los Angeles. She wore diamond necklaces worth more than most houses. Her wardrobe came straight from New York Fashion Week runways. She had millions of followers online who worshipped her glamorous lifestyle. To the public, Daniel and Vanessa were the dream couple, beautiful, wealthy, adored. But inside their glass mansion, where every room echoed with silence, their marriage had been slowly rotting for years. Vanessa no longer spoke to Daniel unless she needed something. She spent most of her days at expensive spas, private clubs, and rooftop bars in downtown LA. Daniel tried to reconnect, to take her on trips, to spend time together, but the more he tried, the colder she became. He thought he had failed her somehow. He blamed himself. He had no idea that the real danger wasn't outside the marriage. It was living right beside him. Things began to shift the day he met Lily Carter, a homeless girl Daniel found sleeping behind a dumpster outside his company's downtown headquarters. She was barely 19. Daniel had gone out the back exit to take a rare quiet walk when he saw her curled up in the cold, hugging her backpack like it was the only thing she had left. Her clothes were torn, her hair tangled, her shoes falling apart. He almost walked past her until he heard her cry quietly into her hands. Something about that sound stopped him. Daniel approached slowly and asked if she was okay. Lily jerked back, startled. She apologized over and over, telling him she would leave immediately. Her voice trembled. Her eyes were terrified, like someone who had been chased her whole life. "I'm not here to hurt you," Daniel said gently. "Do you have somewhere safe to stay?" She shook her head. No family. No money. No home. Something inside Daniel, something he thought had gone numb, stirred. He'd grown up poor himself, raised by a single mother in a tiny apartment in Ohio. Seeing this girl shivering in a dark alleyway felt like seeing a ghost from his past. "Come with me," he told her. "Just for the night. I'll get you food, clothes, a warm place to sleep." Lily hesitated, scared. But she had no other option. She followed. That choice changed everything. When Daniel brought Lily to the mansion, Vanessa almost exploded. "What is that doing here?" she snarled the moment she saw Lily standing awkwardly near the foyer. "This is Lily," Daniel said. "She needs help." "Help?" Vanessa scoffed. "What are we now, a shelter? A soup kitchen?" "She's staying in the pool house," Daniel replied firmly. "Just for a while." Vanessa glared at him like he had betrayed her in the deepest way possible. She stormed upstairs, heels striking the marble like tiny explosions. From that moment on, tension wrapped itself around the Reed mansion like a storm cloud. But Lily was grateful. She didn't rest, she worked. She cleaned without being asked. She helped the housekeeper. She washed dishes, scrubbed counters, folded blankets, swept floors. She was careful, quiet, respectful. Daniel noticed. Vanessa noticed too. And Vanessa did not like it. She criticized everything Lily did. She mocked her clothing, her background, even the way she spoke. She complained that Lily's sad little face ruined her mood. Lily never argued back. She just lowered her eyes and kept helping, determined not to be a burden. One evening, just 3 weeks after bringing Lily home, Daniel came back from a stressful board meeting with a pounding headache. He told Vanessa he needed something warm to drink before lying down. Vanessa smiled, a strange, sugary smile Daniel hadn't seen in years. "I'll make it for you," she said sweetly. Lily, who was wiping down the kitchen counters at that moment, froze. Vanessa never stepped foot in the kitchen. Ever. Something about that smile made Lily's stomach twist. After Daniel went upstairs, Vanessa stayed in the kitchen far longer than necessary. Lily heard sounds that didn't match someone simply boiling water or preparing tea. The faint click of a glass bottle. A soft tap-tap-tap like powder being poured. Lily felt panic crawl up her spine. She didn't know why. She didn't know how. But she felt something was wrong, terribly wrong. Vanessa finally left the kitchen, carrying a mug on a golden tray. Her expression was calm. Too calm. Lily peeked into the kitchen. The mug wasn't the only thing on the counter. Sitting beside the sink, hidden behind a bowl, was a small bottle. A bottle Lily recognized. She had seen bottles like that before, back when she worked part-time at a drugstore before becoming homeless. It wasn't medicine. It wasn't vitamins. It was a toxin. Her heart stopped. No, 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 she whispered, trembling. Vanessa was on her way upstairs. Daniel was about to drink whatever was in that mug. And Lily was the only one who knew the truth. Fear slammed into her chest so hard she could barely breathe. If she interfered, Vanessa would accuse her. She would get kicked out. She'd lose the first safe place she had slept in for months. But if she said nothing, Daniel might die. Lily's legs moved before her brain caught up. She sprinted down the hallway, up the wide staircase, her breath breaking into gasps. At the top of the stairs she saw it. Vanessa was already inside the bedroom. Through the open door, Daniel was reaching for the mug. "Sir, no, no, please." Lily's voice cracked. She wasn't fast enough. Unless she screamed. So she did. With every ounce of fear, desperation, and courage in her body, she let out a scream so loud it shook the entire mansion. "Don't drink it, Mr. Reed. Please don't drink that." Daniel froze. Vanessa spun around, eyes wide, face draining of color. Daniel looked from Lily to the cup, and the world fell silent. Something terrible was about to be exposed. Something that would destroy everything. For a moment, no one moved. Daniel held the mug inches from his lips, frozen in place. Lily stood at the doorway, chest heaving, tears gathering in her eyes. Vanessa's face twisted into something between fury and panic, an expression she couldn't hide fast enough. What are you talking about, Lily?" Daniel asked slowly, lowering the mug. His voice trembled. Lily swallowed hard. "Sir, please, something's wrong with that drink. I saw her put something in it." Vanessa snapped instantly. "You little liar. How dare you accuse me of something so disgusting?" Her voice cracked on the last word. Daniel's eyes flicked between them, Lily shaking like a leaf, Vanessa trembling for a different reason. "Vanessa," he said quietly, "why are you getting so defensive?" "Because she's insane." Vanessa screamed. "She's jealous, Daniel. You've been paying attention to her, and she's trying to make me look like the villain." Lily flinched. "Mrs. Reed, please. I'm not lying." Daniel stepped toward Vanessa. "What did you put in this drink?" Vanessa laughed, too loudly, too quickly. "Are you serious? Tea. Sugar. That's it." But Daniel had known her for years. He knew her moods, her tells, the tiny shifts in her eyes when she lied. And right now, those eyes wouldn't meet his. "Let me see your hands," he said quietly. "What? Why?" "Let me see them." Slowly, reluctantly, Vanessa raised her hands. Her fingertips were dusted in a faint, chalky residue. White. Powdery. Too similar to what Lily described. Daniel's stomach flipped. "Vanessa, what is this?" She jerked her hands away. "Cleaning supplies. I wiped the counters." "Daniel, this is ridiculous." But she hadn't done a day of cleaning in her life. Daniel set the mug down on the nightstand. "Where's your purse?" Vanessa stiffened. "Why?" "Give it to me." "No." The single word hung in the air like a thunderclap. Lily stepped back, pressing herself against the wall. She felt sick watching everything unfold, terrified she would be blamed, terrified she had ruined her own life, but more terrified of what would happen to Daniel if she stayed silent. Daniel's voice dropped to a whisper that shook the room. "Vanessa, get me your purse. Now." When she didn't move, Daniel brushed past her and opened the walk-in closet. Her designer handbag sat on the shelf, gleaming under the soft lights. He grabbed it and dumped the contents onto the bed. Lip gloss, car keys, wallet, perfume bottle, a silk scarf. And then, a small glass vial rolled out and tapped against his wrist. Vanessa lunged for it. "Don't touch that." But Daniel was faster. He snatched it off the bed and held it up. It was half full of a fine white powder. Exactly as Lily described. Daniel stared at it, breath shallow, pulse pounding. "Vanessa, what is this?" She stuttered, actually stuttered. It's vitamins. A supplement. Vitamins don't come in unlabeled glass vials." He looked at Lily. "Is this what you saw?" Lily nodded, tears falling. "Yes, sir, that's the bottle. I'm sorry. I didn't want to get involved, but you were about to." Her voice broke. Vanessa's mask cracked completely. "You stupid girl," she spat. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Daniel stepped between them. "No, Vanessa. The question is, do you have any idea what you've done?" Vanessa's breathing grew rapid. Her eyes darted toward the hallway, calculating, searching for escape. "Daniel, please. I can explain." "Then explain," he said coldly. "Explain why this vial was hidden in your bag. Explain why Lily heard you pouring something from a bottle." Vanessa opened her mouth but nothing came out. And in that silence, everything shattered. Vanessa's silence spread through the room like poison itself. Daniel felt the air thicken, his throat tighten. He lowered the vial, staring at his wife, really staring at her, searching for the woman he thought he knew. But all he saw was fear, guilt, and something darker. "Daniel, please," she whispered. "You're overreacting." "Overreacting." His voice cracked. "I found a vial in your purse, right after Lily told me you put something in my drink. You think this is an overreaction?" Lily stepped back again, too afraid to breathe. She felt like she'd somehow lit the fuse to a bomb. Vanessa tried to smile, but it was hollow and trembling. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" Daniel's tone was sharp, controlled. "Tell me exactly what this is." Vanessa sank onto the edge of the bed, fingers twisting together. I've been stressed. I've been taking something to help me sleep. A powder. It's herbal." "Herbal." Daniel repeated flatly. "Yes," she insisted. "Completely natural. Safe." Daniel held the vial up to the light again. "Then why hide it?" "I wasn't hiding it," Vanessa snapped. "I just didn't want you judging me." But she wouldn't meet his eyes. She stared at the floor, jaw clenched, hands shaking. He turned to Lily. "Lily, tell me exactly what you saw. Everything." Lily's voice came out as a whisper. "I heard something, like glass tapping. Then powder dropped into the mug. Mrs. Reed stirred it. She didn't know I was there." "Liar!" Vanessa screamed, jumping up. "You're lying. You're trying to. Sit down." Daniel's voice thundered through the room. Vanessa froze. Daniel turned back to Lily gently. "And you're sure? You're absolutely sure this vial looks like what she used?" "Yes, sir." Lily's voice cracked. "I'm so sorry." Daniel looked at the vial again. The white powder clung to the glass in a way he recognizes. Fine, crystalline. Not something you mix with chamomile tea. His chest tightened. "Vanessa," he said quietly, "did you put something in my drink?" There was a long, suffocating pause. Then, "No," she whispered. "Of course not. I love you, Daniel." But the lie was too thin to hide behind. Daniel closed his eyes, pain slicing through him. "I need the truth, Vanessa. Right now. She shook her head violently. There is no truth. She's manipulating you, Daniel. Look at her, she's desperate. She wants to stay here, wants your attention. She's probably been plotting since the day you brought her home. Lily flinched at the accusation. I swear, I'm not. Enough. Daniel shouted. Both women jumped. He stared at Vanessa, his voice shaking with something deeper than anger, disappointment. You think I can't see what's happening? You think I don't recognize when someone's lying to my face? I run one of the largest companies in America. I negotiate billion-dollar contracts. I can read people. His voice dropped. And right now, I don't recognize you. Vanessa's eyes glossed with tears. Daniel, please. Why did you smile like that? He asked quietly. Why did you suddenly want to make me tea? Why did Lily find this bottle? She opened her mouth, but before she could answer, Daniel turned and walked toward the nightstand. He picked up the mug and sniffed it. The smell was slightly off. Subtle, but wrong. Like metal. Like almonds. A chill shot down his spine. He had read enough medical reports in his years funding hospitals to know exactly what that smell meant. Vanessa, he said slowly, is this cyanide? Vanessa's face drained of color. The world stopped. Lily gasped. Daniel's hands began to shake. Vanessa staggered backward, gripping the bedpost like her legs might give out. Daniel, listen please, she stammered. But it was already too late. Daniel set the mug down carefully, like he was holding a live grenade. He looked at his wife with eyes that no longer saw a partner, but someone who had just tried to murder him. Vanessa, he said, voice hollow, did you really want me dead? Her lips trembled. Her eyes filled. Her silence was the only answer he needed. And it shattered him. Daniel's heart felt like it was tearing in two. He stared at Vanessa, the woman he had once crossed oceans for, the woman he had believed would grow old beside him. Now she stood trembling in front of him, unable or unwilling to deny the truth. Why, Vanessa, he whispered. Why would you do this to me? She broke. I didn't want to lose everything, she sobbed. You were planning to cut me off, weren't you? You've barely looked at me for months. I thought you were falling out of love with me. I thought you'd leave. Daniel shook his head slowly. I was trying to fix our marriage. Her eyes widened. He whispered the words again, softer this time, like speaking hurt him. I was trying to fix us. Vanessa collapsed to her knees, her sobs echoing through the room. Lily stood frozen near the doorway, unsure if she should move or disappear. Daniel turned away, pressing a trembling hand against his forehead. His entire world was collapsing, and the person holding the match was the one who had sworn to protect his heart. He didn't yell. He didn't curse. He simply walked to the dresser, picked up his phone, and dialed a number. Security, he said quietly. Come to the master bedroom. Vanessa's head shot up. Daniel, no. Please, I can explain. Give me another chance. Don't do this. He didn't answer. She crawled toward him, grabbing his leg. Please. I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly. Daniel stepped backward, pulling his leg free. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary, he said emotionlessly. A mistake is losing your temper. Mixing poison into your husband's tea is attempted murder. Lily gasped softly. Even saying the words out loud made the truth feel heavier. Moments later, 2 security officers entered the room. Daniel didn't look at Vanessa as he spoke. Escort her downstairs. She's not to re-enter this house. Call the authorities. Vanessa screamed, a raw, heartbroken sound, but the guards lifted her gently and carried her out. Her cries faded down the hallway, replaced by the distant sound of the front door opening and closing. Silence swallowed the mansion. Lily didn't know if she should speak, but Daniel turned toward her slowly. You saved my life, he said, voice cracking. If you hadn't walked in when you did, I wouldn't be standing here. Lily wiped her tears with the sleeve of her sweater. I just did what anyone would do. Daniel shook his head. No. Most people would have stayed quiet. Most people would have been too afraid. You risked everything, even your place here, to save me. Lily lowered her gaze. I couldn't let something terrible happen. Daniel nodded, a single tear finally slipping down his cheek. Thank you, he said softly. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Lily didn't know what to say. She just stepped back, letting him process the heartbreak, the betrayal, the relief, and the terror of what could have happened. The police arrived shortly after. Vanessa was taken into custody. A toxicology team collected the mug and vial. There were questions, interviews, statements. But the truth was clear. Daniel Reed's wife had tried to kill him, and a homeless girl he barely knew had saved his life. As the sun began to rise over the Pacific Ocean, Daniel stood in the living room, staring at the horizon. His marriage was over. His heart was broken. But he was alive, because someone with nothing had shown more loyalty than someone with everything. He turned to Lily. You'll never sleep in the cold again, he said quietly. Not as long as I'm alive. Her eyes widened, filling with tears. For the first time in years, Daniel felt something warm inside his chest. Hope. Before you scroll, let me ask you something. What would you do if someone tried to poison you, even someone you trusted? Do you believe real loyalty comes from the people you expect, or the people you least expect? Has someone ever saved you when you didn't even know you needed saving? If this story shocked you, if it made you think, if it made your heart pound even once, don't forget to like this video. Share it with someone who loves dramatic stories. And subscribe to the channel for more real-life lessons, twists, and unbelievable stories. Your support helps us bring you more stories just like this one. Subscribe now, so you never miss what happens next.